I don't know. I've been all over the map politically, but it's why, like, you know, certain ways of looking at shit. Like when people talk about guns, let's just make them illegal and then nobody will have them. You know, like that sort of like thought process is you're acting as though the world is a utopia and that there's not morons and that there's not people who say, I don't give a fuck what the rules are. You're totally not even taking into consideration sociopaths, which is why that new fucking thing that Obama signed, that whole defense package where now they can just arrest people without a trial, put you in jail forever. Without a trial, because they just think you're a fucking terrorist. You can't give people that level of power. I'm a fucking moron, and I know you can't do that. Historically, no one has ever handled that level of power well. Anybody here want to go live in China? Well, you're out there practicing your nunchucks, wearing your wooden slippers, and all of a sudden a van pulls up and you disappear, and that's it forever? You want to live there? Of course you don't. You want to live here where they can't fucking do it. Well, they can do it now. You know? They just put in a fucking order for a bunch of black vans. That's what I heard. According to holyshit.com, that's what's going down. I don't understand why stuff at that level that affects citizens to that level, why we don't get to vote on it. Do you think it's because we'd say, hey, you know what? Fuck that. Do you understand, like, that is just a jump-off point? Do you think, like, that's just how it's going to... Well, as long as you're not a terrorist, then you ain't got a fucking problem. You think it's just going to stop with that? That's not how you take away freedom. You don't just fucking do it all in one fell swoop. It's incremental. It's just like when you're dating some fucking woman and you're not paying attention. And she just gradually, every day, takes another foot of real estate. Next thing you know, you're in goal line D going, how the fuck did I end up in this situation? You started at the 50. Little push, little pull, right? Everything was fine. Next thing you know, you're up against the goal line. You think that they're just going to keep it with the terrorist thing? You know, they'll wait for a whole other generation of babies to be born. And they always grew up with government having that level of power. And then they add something else to it. Then they add something else. Then that's it. You can't have it. Okay? If Tiger Woods can't handle the level of free pussy on a golf tour, how the fuck is our government going to handle a new defense package which basically gave them a mute button? Wouldn't you love to? How would you handle that if you had that power? How long before you just started abusing that? If you could just hit mute on anybody who ever disagreed with you, and you could have them whisked away. I mean, that is the sociopath's wet dream. That's what that is. That is a fucking mute button. Mr. Stalin, don't you think? That's it. You hit mute. You're done. You're gone. See ya. I think it's fucking insane. And the only thing that I get out of it is that I feel like I was proven correct. That I don't think it matters at that level whether you vote Democrat or Republican. Obama, the first black president ever, you would think this would be the most liberal politician in the history of this country. Because of his background, you would think that he signed off on that shit. All right? I'm telling you. I don't know what happens when you become president, but I think they let you peek just enough behind the curtain. And there is a fucking agenda that we are moving towards. Because I don't think it fucking matters. I really don't. Which is why I always vote for the Ralph Nader, the fucking Ron Paul, all those guys that all those fucking idiots go, oh, because you did that, you ruined the election. Really? Did I? I feel like those guys wouldn't have signed shit like that. I feel like their track record shows that they would not sign shit like that. I don't know. I imagine I'm going to get a ton of fucking emails. I remember somebody was yelling at me one time saying that because I voted for Ralph Nader in 2000, that's why George W. Bush won. And they were just going on and on and on about it. And I was like, dude, I live in New York. Al Gore won my state. Okay? Do you understand that? So your whole fucking theory right now is out the window. I voted for Ralph Nader in New York, and Al Gore still won the state. So go fuck yourself. What I'm trying to do, Mr. fucking red and blue tie here, I'm trying to fucking encourage more people like that to vote. So mission accomplished. That's what I'm trying to not to vote, to run. You know? Uncorruptible. How far can you get if you're uncorruptible? I would say that you can get to the whatever level politics is when you decide whether or not they should put a gazebo in the center of town. I think once you get beyond that, you got to be a little dirty, right? I love talking about this shit because it just stirs people up, you know. Maybe you should read a little more before the next time you fucking Really? What are you reading? Huh? What are you reading? What they give you? Is that what you're reading, fuckhead? Why are you acting like you have clearance to the bottom floors of the fucking Pentagon? You're guessing just like I am, all right, Mr. Informed? I read the pamphlet. I don't buy a fucking word of it. You know? You can use Coca-Cola to take rust off of metal. You can use it for that, you know? You understand that? Yet they're still able to sell it to us like it's refreshing. I don't know what that point meant either.